Okay, let's get into the nitty gritty. What I've got is a Solstice paddle. It's plastic with aluminum shaft, nothing special. And the Hippo stick, full carbon. You can see the blade difference there, a lot more surface area in the Solstice. You'd expect it at slow speeds, that would be beneficial. And on the right, you see that what I've done is modify the Hippo stick to take all the arch out of that blade and make it a straight paddle. You could technically make this a non-directional SUP paddle. It would work forward or backwards. Anyway, this is what I'm working with. Now let's get into the testing. So my testing is where I go between two sets of buoys. I count the amount of strokes, try and keep the same cadence and same amount of power in each stroke, just to see what my output is. And to get a rough estimate of how many strokes to how much time to cover that distance. So I always start with the paddle horizontal, start paddling, and I finish with the paddle horizontal. So that's how you know I've crossed the line. On top is my Solstice paddle. Like I say, it's nothing quality, it's just a paddle. Needed another blade to compare it to just for some analysis. A lot more surface area in that paddle. The fiberglass spring could be a carbon fiber setup. It would be more tidy and appropriate for the Hippo stick. Allows the blade to flex into position, so you get the same function of the SUP paddle. It's just that it flexes into position and releases that at the end of the stroke. What I find out in this test is the current spring rate that I have in the Hippo stick matches about the same power that I get out of the Solstice paddle. Both paddles finish about the same time with about the same amount of strokes. Now let's turn around and go back the other way. What I failed to mention was when I paddle this first direction, I do it with a light. Just easy, consistent stroke. And on the way back, I'm going to raise it up a tick and try and put a little bit into it and see what happens. And this will help with the data analysis. Put more into it, the paddle flexes more. So it helps me kind of fine tune things and understand what's going on. The distance I'm traveling is about a football field. Not much more, not much less. Again, you'll see that on the way back we're about the same time, just a few more strokes to the Hippo. That's kind of understandable. So light and so quick through the water, it's easier to fit a couple more strokes in. So this test is where it gets interesting. On the top I've got my Hippo stick that I came with and just put up against the Solstice paddle. On the bottom is my modified. I bring out a grinder with a sanding wheel and I shaved a couple hundredths off the spring so I can put some more flex into it. So, you know, with less effort I get more flex and it provides some pretty dramatic results. I don't want to bore you with the length of this, but it's important that I leave it at the proper rate so that you can count and follow along and see what's going on. Better believe and understand the results. So let's paddle, 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 we'll get there. The more flexible Hippo is finished. How much performance did we gain with a more flexible Hippo? Roughly 5 strokes and 8 seconds in this stretch. Okay, taking it back. Remember, this is the stretch we put a little more into it. Let's see how it does. It's Hippo versus Hippo. You know, I am super lucky that I live out here by Canyon Lake. It's pretty consistent with the glass in the morning. I had to fight with some fishermen this morning for this spot because I really needed to test between the same buoys that I usually test between, so I had to kind of wait them out. And in a way I flushed them. I hung out long enough in the spot they were hanging to where they noticed I wasn't going anywhere, so maybe they should. It was nice. Again, the more flexible Hippo finishes first. Roughly 8 seconds later, the more stiff Hippo finishes. Pretty much the same results, shaved 5 strokes and about 8 seconds. Boom. So I'm hoping to go out again. I'm going to take the current paddle with its flex, run it again, time it, and then shave it a little bit, time it some more, and see if I can improve on the performance again, or if I start to go away from performance because it doesn't have enough response in the flex to give me the push I need. So it's part of the fun. Check back for more. Thanks for watching.